A Good Man is Hard to Find is one of Flannery O'Connor's most popular short stories. It is believed to be set in the 1940s or 50s. The story opens up with the family about to take a trip. The grandmother wants to go to Tennessee, but they're supposed to go to Florida. Although she wants to go to Tennessee for her own personal reasons, she justifies this by talking about a serial killer that's loose in Florida called the Misfit. Despite her objections, her son Bailey still decides they are going to Florida. Bailey, his wife, their baby, their son John Wesley, their daughter June Star, and the grandmother then begin on the trip, and unbeknownst to the others, the grandmother also took her cat, Patty Sing. Along the way, they stop at a restaurant called Red Sammy's, where they end up talking with Red Sammy himself and his wife. Red Sammy, his wife, and his grandmother then get into a nostalgic conversation reminiscing on the good old days, where people were just better, and they claim that people aren't good anymore, saying, "A good man is hard to find." The conversation then brings up the Misfit once again, and how the wife and Red Sammy are worried they may be robbed. Further along in the trip, the family passes a plantation that the grandmother claims she used to visit. She exaggerates the grandness of this plantation, even claiming that the house has a secret panel. This intrigues the children, and thus they want to visit as well. Bailey obliges and begins to take them down a long foresty road leading to supposed plantation. As they travel along the road, the grandmother jumps at the realization that the plantation she was thinking of was in Tennessee, not Florida. This jump startled her cat, which ended up startling Bailey, causing him to wreck the car into a ditch. The family is then stuck in a ditch, hoping for someone to come along to help. Eventually, a car arrives and three men get out carrying guns. As the grandmother observes them more closely, she realizes that one of the men is the Misfit himself and lets out a scream. The Misfit is not happy to be recognized. The grandmother immediately starts trying to save her own life, telling the Misfit that he's a good man and wouldn't shoot a lady. But the Misfit tells the two men with him to take John Wesley and Bailey into the woods. The grandmother then decides to question the Misfit about his faith and religion. He goes on to say that he doesn't pray, and he actually went to prison for a crime he did not commit. He was treated unjustly. The two men are then told to come back and lead the mother, the baby, and June Star into the woods as well. Soon after, gunshots are heard coming from the forest. The grandmother is terrified and calls out for her son Bailey. All while this is happening, the Misfit speaks philosophically, claiming that since Jesus didn't really raise people from the dead, that nowadays everyone should just give in to their meanness on their time on earth. The grandmother is continuing to try to save her own life, calling the Misfit a good man, and even referring to him as one of her own children. Despite this, the Misfit shoots the grandmother 3 times in the chest, leaving her dead. The two men return from the woods, and now all of the family is dead. The Misfit feels that maybe the grandmother may have been a good lady if she had had a gun pointed at her every second of her life. The story then concludes with the Misfit stating that there is no pleasure in life. This story, full of thought-provoking discussions on religion and contradiction in one's characters, such as the grandmother, leaves readers in a state of somewhat self-reflection, as well as an analyzation of the Misfit's character. Maybe him being understood led to the life he now led. Flannery O'Connor's unique writing style draws readers in with her dark undertones and presents a unique, uncommon type of literature that all will probably enjoy.